Everyone knows the smart time to buy appliances is before or after any holiday. The savings are better. And here at Bob Wallace Appliance, we offer smart, amazing appliances by Maytag, Whirlpool, and KitchenAid, all designed to help you spend less time working in the kitchen and more time with family. I'm Chris Haygood. We're closed July 3rd through the 5th, so our employees can spend the holiday with their families. Huntsville, Florence, Coleman, and at BobWallaceAppliance.com.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a couple of reports of wrecks on 565. Got one reported on the eastbound side, one reported on the westbound side near Mooresville Road. Maybe a slowdown there. Got a wreck in the vicinity of Vinemont, I-65 southbound. That's just before Coleman. That one apparently is backing some traffic up. Got work on Church Street downtown by Big Spring Park causing problems. Is the ocean breeze calling your name? Is your body swimsuit ready? 2030 Fast Track can show you how to lose up to 4 sizes in 4 weeks, just in time for the beach. 2030huntsville.com. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect a few isolated showers in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly sunny sky. High temperatures will be topping out in the lower 90s for the afternoon, but heat index values will be as high as 97. For your Monday night, expect a mostly clear sky. Low temperatures will fall into the lower 70s. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This Action Update is brought to you by Keeps. Tired of losing your hair? Get 50% off for your first order at Keeps.com/VSiN. Keeps.com/VSiN.
The Suns a chance to go to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1993. They're at home and favored by 5.5 points over the Clippers in Game 5, leading the series 3-1. The over-under 214.5. Game 4 in the East tomorrow night. The Bucks a 6.5-point road favorite at the Hawks, 221.5 total. Milwaukee up 2-1 in that series. The Stanley Cup Finals Game 1 tonight in Tampa. The Lightning at -200 on the money line. The Canadiens at +170, over-under 5. The Lightning going for back-to-back titles. Montreal seeking their first since 93 and 25th overall. Another Braves-Mets series starting in Atlanta tomorrow night. The Braves coming off a 2-2 split with the Reds. Opening lines for Game 1 will be out today.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And just like that, we are off and running on another brand new edition of Talking Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. As you just heard, It is our Monday edition, so that means no, we are not on the road today. We are back in studio for this Monday, but nonetheless, it is time for You're the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly from over the weekend. You can join the show, 256-576-4977. Your good, your bad, and the ugly from the weekend. Not a lot. I won't say there's not a lot going on, but there was plenty of sports going on over the weekend where you can find some good, the bad, and the ugly. So 256-576-4977. That is the number to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. We welcome your phone calls on this Monday. And we do have plenty to get to today. The SEC obviously going to be on center stage from Omaha tonight. The College World Series Championship Series gets underway this evening. Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. Mississippi State getting by Texas in that winner move-on game. It went to that decisive game. Mississippi State able to get by Texas. And by now, I'm sure everybody has heard what happened between Vanderbilt and NC State. But if you did not, Vanderbilt was set to meet NC State on Saturday. Vanderbilt forced that winner-take-all game, the winner moving on to the championship series. On Friday, NC State took on Vanderbilt, and I'm sure by now, if you follow college baseball or college athletics, you heard that NC State was playing shorthanded because of COVID-19. Positive test among the NC State Wolfpack forced them to play with only 13 players and 4 pitchers on Friday. The news got worse for NC State. Late hours going into Saturday morning. The NCAA, do not have enough players to play. So therefore, Vanderbilt moves into the championship series because NC State was unable to put enough people out onto the field. 23,000 fans in the stands to watch Mississippi State get by Texas later that day.
I hate my tiny basement, but with Realtor.com.
There we go. That's what happens when you leave the computer thing on. You never know what ads are going to pop up. But anyway, that would probably have to be, I would say, one of the ugly things from the weekend was that NC State was not able to finish they were the hottest team in Omaha. They did not get to finish the drill there in Omaha and have a chance to play for the national title. Now, they did have a welcome party back in Raleigh for NC State at the Baseball Diamond, and they obviously said, hey, the true national champions coming back from Omaha. Anyway, we'll talk about that some more as the show goes on. We talked a lot about schools, and we're going to talk some recruiting, but we've talked a lot about schools that have welcomed kids back on campus since June 1st. Remember, June 1st was the day the dead period ended from the NCAA. And schools have been welcoming kids on campus for official visits around the clock, it seems. And there have been camps going on around the clock. Now, there's one school in particular that has had camps and have welcomed the elite of the elite to their school for camps. This one school, though, has not, despite the fact that the dead period started in June, or ended in June, they have yet to welcome one individual on campus for an official visit. Prominent school when it comes to national championship pictures. They have yet to welcome one official visit. We'll let you know, and we'll talk it out and see how it plays out. Some really local news. We have another reason to watch the Olympics. And I can't remember. Now, I know we have had Olympians from Madison County. But I cannot remember a time where we have had not one, but two Olympians from Madison County in the same Olympics. Back in 2004 and 2008, we got to enjoy Margaret Holzer competing in the pool. 2008, she finds her way to the medal stand for a couple medals, a slew of medals. Now, in 96, when the Olympics were in Atlanta, I don't know if we had anybody from this area or not. We've got to go back out and do the research. I mean, we've got to go way back. But yesterday, now, I was kind of keeping an eye on this because I wanted to see how he was doing. But former Columbia High standout Javon Harrison, obviously already one of the best high jumpers in the world. We knew he had a phenomenal chance to get in on the high jump, and indeed he did. He leaped his way into the high jump Olympics, 7 feet, 7 3/4 inches at Hayward Field. Okay, so he does that. He makes it. Well, then he's got the long jump later in the day, supposed to be a couple hours after that. But if you think it's been warm here in Huntsville, Eugene, Oregon got blasted by heat to the point where it was 108 degrees on the track, 103 degrees in Eugene, Oregon yesterday. So they had to delay the U.S. Olympic trial, the track and field trials, for about 5 hours because the heat was so bad. Well, Javon Harrison got delayed in his long jump efforts, goes out, and not only does he make it in the high jump, but he bams a jump of 27 feet, 9.5 inches, and that stood. That is a LSU school record, and that was tied for an LSU school record by John Moffitt from the 2004. He was a 2004 silver medalist, John Moffitt, but Javon Harrison becomes the first American to qualify for both the high jump and long jump at the same Olympic Games. Drew, he's going to put his name in the books since Jim Thorpe. Jim Thorpe in 1912 qualified for the high jump and long jump in the same Olympics, but no American has ever done that since, except for Columbia High's Javon Harrison.
Yeah, it's a great moment for our city, no doubt about it. As you said, he's a Columbia High School alum and basically has been one of the best in the world since he's been with LSU Track. LSU Track, and along with Arkansas, maybe the two most prominent track programs in America. And Javon Harrison, what a career he has had there. And then now what an opportunity he has to go to Tokyo, as you said, over 7 feet on the high jump, and then the long jump, 27 feet. So when you're mentioned in the same sentence as Jim Thorpe, who, of course, the Thorpe Award, the defensive back, the best DB in college football, is named after, Jim Thorpe, even though, it's been, almost 80-plus years, is still considered maybe the greatest athlete of all time. So when you're in that category, and Mr. Javon Harrison there is no doubt that he is a big-time athlete, and we congratulate him. And, of course, our good friend Zach Harding, both of them from this community, Zach from Bob Jones, Javon from Columbia, and they are both Olympians, which is the elite of the elite in athletics when you're talking about outside of professional sports such as the big three of the NBA, Major League Baseball, and, of course, the NFL.
You mentioned Jim Thorpe. He did everything. He played in the NFL, played in Major League Baseball.
Right.
Was in the Olympics. I mean, he did a little bit of everything, did Jim Thorpe. And if you listened to our interview, Zach Harding says that he tends to do better. Things start to go his way when he's had travel delays. He left yesterday for training camp in Hawaii, and experienced an hour delay on his flight. So he did not get to leave yesterday. He was going to leave this morning. So, I mean, he got delayed by a whole day. So maybe that's a positive outlook for Zach Harding, because he said he swims better and tends to have better luck if he has travel delays. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go out to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Jeff from the Borough with us on this Monday. Good morning, Jeff.
How's it going, guys?
Good, Jeff. How are you?
Pretty good. I just wanted to say, wouldn't it have been worse, say, if NC State had won that game on Friday, and then they come back and say, Saturday morning, whenever it was, or late Saturday, and say, okay, NC State, you're disqualified because of COVID, and then they could have said, well, whoever wins that Mississippi State and Texas game is a champion. We wouldn't even play the championship series or whatever. Wouldn't that have been worse on the NCAA if that would have happened? They said, okay, we're not even going to play it. Whoever wins the Mississippi State and Texas game is just declared the champion and don't even have a series. Do you think that would have been worse on the NCAA if they'd have done that? I mean, because it could have happened anybody, to be honest with you. I mean, the COVID, it could have been a team over. I mean, Virginia, Tennessee, anybody. They could have been, disqualified from the tournament and such. But, and all that. I just wanted to get what y'all thought about that, and I'll just hang up and listen to your thoughts. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. I mean, I guess we're fortunate and unfortunate at the same time with that situation with NC State.
The NCAA is a joke. They've always been a joke. They're always going to be a joke. They shouldn't even have been testing them, because they should have just let it roll out and finish instead of testing them every day. It wasn't going to hurt those kids. They weren't going to hurt anyone around them. They could buy a ticket right now and pay and watch the game. They should have just let the tournament play itself out. Nobody's in any danger, okay? I at least I don't think so. These are young people that bounce back. I know some have pre-existing conditions, but I don't think that was the case with any of these young people. And they should have let them finish the College World Series. They should have stopped testing, basically, is what I'm saying. They should have just let it roll out, like Kim Mulkey said, and let them finish playing once you get to a certain point. I mean, the NCAA is overkill. It always has been. They're reactive, not proactive. They're morons. And they cost NC State a chance to compete for a championship. Personally, I wouldn't have been surprised if Vandy came back and beat them twice, just because you've got Kumar Rocker and you've got Jack Leiter. And NC State beat Jack Leiter 1-0. They were very fortunate to do so. I don't think they beat Rocker anyway, because he's 7-0 all time in the postseason. But I am happy to see the SEC get the all SEC championship series, because it is by far and away. And just deal with it, America. I don't really give a rat's ass about it. The SEC is the best league in the country, okay? And it's not close, okay? The ACC made a nice little run with Virginia, but they hit a brick wall.
But NC State was playing the best baseball probably of everybody
there. You could say that, I guess. But, and maybe they would have won one more game. But I liked Kumar Rocker's chances in that elimination game. He's never lost one. And then when you're 1-1 and both teams have a loss, it's anybody's ball game. And so Mississippi State found a way to subdue Texas. Can't stand them. Glad to see them go into the house. And,
But I guess Vanderbilt benefited the most. I mean, Vanderbilt benefited huge from not having to play that because
Jack Leiter didn't have to pitch.
Right. They wouldn't have had Jack Leiter available for tonight.
He'll be able to pitch game one against Mississippi State. I hate it for those kids at NC State. It's sickening. I think they should have been able to finish it.
Yes.
I don't think they should have made half the team sit out that other game. There's even rumors that they tested vaccinated players that they claim tested positive. I don't know if that's really true, because you hear a lot of things.
And that was the whole thing.
But
the NCAA made everyone believe that if you were vaccinated, you did not have to be tested.
Yeah.
And the NCAA went back and tested vaccinated players.
I would sue their ass. Yes. I would sue them. I would sue them if that's what happened.
That is what is being said and being reported out there.
If that really happened, we don't know that.
Right.
But if that really happened, I would sue those jackasses. Because you're not supposed to test people that you said was vaccinated, you clowns. But that's typical NCAA BS. So that was the ugly from the weekend. The NCAA is a joke. Joke. A bunch of idiots. I mean, they don't ever handle anything right. They're butchering the name, image, and likeness, too, because they just stick their head in the sand and act like nothing's going on.
Oh, they are burying. They are messing that up.
I mean, they are so stupid, it's not even funny.
We are 2 days away from name, image, and likeness going green, and the NCAA is messing that up.
Oh,
so bad.
Shocker.
So
it's not
bad.
like they screw everything up. I mean, come on. Give me a break. The Power 5 ought to just break away and do their own thing and tell them to go to hell. That's what I would do.
256-576-4977. That is the number to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline.
It's not like they police anything anyway. They just stick their head in the sand with that stuff too, FBI and Western Union and all that stuff. They don't do anything to anybody.
Yeah, weren't we supposed to have the NCAA Enforcement Committee or something like that? Wasn't that supposed to be the new thing where it went through and it expedited a lot of this stuff and they handled everything? And so we would get rulings a lot faster than what we were supposed to get before.
Yeah, instead of 2 years, it takes 7 now.
I mean, because they butchered the whole North Carolina academic stuff. That lasted for, 7 years or something like that? And now you have Arizona State possibly on the hook for some infractions.
And they always play favorites, too. They do. There's certain programs they don't touch. And so it's just, they're full of it. They're as FOS as anything.
All right, 256-576-4977. That is the number to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. You can get in on this Monday. So the good we've determined is Javon Harrison making the Olympics. The bad is the way the NCAA handled the College Baseball World Series. Another good has to be Huntsville High golfer, former Huntsville High golfer Janie Jackson. She earns a little paycheck from the weekend. She was playing in a major on the LPGA side, and that was the PGA Championship. The LPGA's PGA Championship over in the Atlanta area. She tied for 56th place, which is good for a $13,000 paycheck. $13,066 for Janie Jackson, to be exact. Tied for 56th place. Congratulations to Janie Jackson, another good from over the weekend.
Yeah, that's another good. And, of course, my ugly is the NCAA and the NC State thing. It's not the bad. The bad for me, and I watched about 10 seconds of it, of course. I don't really care, but it's still bad. But once again, the Los Angeles Clippers are crashing and burning, and the Phoenix Suns are one win away from the NBA Finals and winning the Western Conference. You could also say it's a good, though, and you can talk about on the other side of that, because Chris Paul, 36 years old, he's never been to the finals. He's a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
He's always had injuries. He's had bad luck. I mean, this time he had COVID protocols because of the NBA's ridiculous stupidity and the way they handle that. And of course, they're pathetic as well. But anyway, they made him sit out several games, but he's back, hopefully for the rest of it. But you never know with those dudes. But anyway, Chris Paul's back. They've got Devin Booker, they've got Ayton. They're playing really well. They're coming off of an 84-80 win over the Clippers, and so on the road, and that makes it a 3-1 count. And pretty much the series is over, I think. I mean, we'll see. I mean, no Kawhi.
It's going to be hard for the Clippers to come back.
Doesn't look like he's going to play because he's got a knee injury. So this is a wide open deal for the Suns. So in a way, that's another good, but then it's also bad because once again the Clippers, all the money they've spent, the coaching change from Doc Rivers to Ty Lue doesn't look like it's going to do any good, as it looks like the Clippers are going to crash and burn again. But again, the ugly to me is that whole just feeling really terrible for NC State's players, their coaches, and the way the NCAA once again botched something else. But they wouldn't be the NCAA if they didn't.
Let's get a break in. When we come back, going to bring in our first guest of the morning. And we talked on our Saturday show a little bit about Ed Orgeron and what's going on down there at LSU, but there's a whole lot more going on down there. They have a new baseball coach. There's some recruiting going on. Sonny Ships will join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline to talk about it all when we return.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
That wreck in Coleman is near 157 on I-65. It's on the southbound side. And we got one in Scottsboro, 72 east of Roy Owens Boulevard. That one may have an injury involved. May take a few minutes to get it cleared up. Snelling needs a warehouse associate, a receptionist, and an inside salesperson, all for Decatur. Huntsville.snelling.com. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
I love overpriced stuff. That's why I get my internet from the other guys. What could be better?
Wow is better. Get Internet 200 for just $29.99 a month plus $50 on us at Huawei.com. Limited to new customers with auto pay and paperless billing. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner of University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Madison Academy football. And a quick shout out to my son, Avery Seaton, number 19. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including our all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and the sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com to view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in the Kia. Go Mustangs!
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Ann Adams. Ann, I understand you have some exciting news.
Yes, Wes, I do. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services was just recognized in the 30th Annual Harris Poll Equitrin as the Real Estate Agency Brand of the Year and the most trusted real estate brand.
That is awesome news, Ann. You know, great companies in Huntsville, Alabama, winning awards is what we want. Is it a great time to list your home?
Yes, it is. The inventory is low and the market is heating up.
And I understand you're also looking for agents.
I am. We are so busy, Wes, we need agents to keep up with the demand.
Ann Adams and Rise Real Estate has been doing business in North Alabama for the last 35 years. If you want to do business with someone you can trust, she has been writing contracts since she was 9 years old. Call Ann today at 256-337-2625.
Chad, cue the cheesy Italian music. So you're in charge of the dinner spot, and the family is a hard group to please. Dad wants award-winning 21-day age certified Angus beef. Mom craves authentic Italian food like great-grandma. Sissy pretty much won't eat anything but fresh seafood. And old life of the party, Uncle Walter, likes to enjoy a cigar after dinner with some live local entertainment and some killer cocktails. So you think you're in a pickle? Well, you're not. Relax. I'm Tom Chapman, chef at Nick's Ristorante at 10300 Bailey Cove Road, just south of Weatherly. We have all that and more. Our friendly and helpful staff is eager to help you Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 5. So, corral that crazy crew of yours and give us a call at 256-489-8280 or tell them to check us out at nicksristorante.com. I promise you, the gang will all think you're a culinary cruise director of awesomeness if you take them all to Nick's. See you soon. Ciao. Okay, Chad, kill that music.
Nick's is for patrons 19 or older.
Listen to the Tom Abraham Show.
And he loves fishing.
The average shift is 52 seconds. If you get into a minute 10, minute 12, your legs are burning because they get out there and they go like hell. You're talking about skating and doing the other, the stick handling and everything else, but your legs just are on fire because you go so hard.
As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey. I miss the Knicks.
Listen to the Big Dog, weekdays from 10 to noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for Woody Anderson Ford. When I was in the Tennessee Valley, one of the things that impressed me the most was the quality of the people. People like Bobby White and his team at Woody Anderson Ford. And now you can experience the tremendous new service lanes and showroom at Woody Anderson Ford, at Jordan and Sparkman, or just stop by for breakfast or lunch at Henry's Mustang Cafe. And in Madison, visit Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, just south of 72. Like a great college football tradition, always there, Woody Anderson Ford.
It just works. Picture this. You're at home, doing whatever it is you do. Then, pow! The power goes out. Then what? Well, at my house, life goes on. We have a Generac automatic home standby generator from Current Electrical and Generator Services. For your home security and peace of mind, get a free personal consultation on how a Generac automatic home standby generator can protect you. Current Electrical and Generator Services. Call or visit us on the web at HuntsvilleGenerators.com. You've got the power.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect a few isolated showers in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly sunny sky. High temperatures will be topping out in the lower 90s for the afternoon, but heat index values will be as high as 97. For your Monday night, expect a mostly clear sky. Low temperatures will fall into the lower 70s. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Paul Feinbaum. Listen to me coming up today at 2. Now back to Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's 7:28 on a Monday morning. Welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. We mentioned before the break we were talking some LSU over the weekend on our Saturday show. And we did that by talking about their newest baseball head coach. They finally have found their man, and a little LSU Tiger football recruiting.
Yeah, and we knew going in that LSU was shooting high, that Omaha had a lot to do with their search. I mean, they were taking their time. There was coaches that they vetted, and there were some that didn't get to Omaha. And we've already talked ad nauseum about Kevin O'Sullivan at Florida. He's been involved in many a high-profile search, including Texas as well, and ended up staying home. But LSU still made a very interesting hire, someone that's proven, someone that has been to Omaha on multiple occasions. And we're going to break that down, talk about LSU recruiting as well with our next guest. He's a reporter for 24/7 Sports and Go 24/7, and he covers the LSU Tigers extensively. Been with us many times, and it's always great to feature Sonny Ships this morning on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Sonny, how are you, sir? You're Drew and Scott. Good morning, brother.
Good. How's it going, fellas?
We're
doing good.
We're
Sonny.
doing well, Sonny. And I mean, you kind of kept us in the loop here with how this baseball search was going. Talk about the end of it, how it culminated. You know, we were even watching Tim Corbin closely in Omaha, even though we knew that was probably unlikely. We were watching him closely, and Tony Vitello. How did this come to pass with the very interesting selection of Jay Johnson?
Yeah, I think LSU, Scott Woodward, and the rest of the administration, they really wanted this to, like you guys summed it up perfectly. They really wanted it to kind of end in Omaha. One way or another. LSU couldn't make it to Omaha. They wanted their next coach to be there, to have an extensive history there. And I think when you look at Jay Johnson, you're getting a guy that has been there 2 out of the last 5 times. If my math is correct on this Monday morning, that they've had the World Series. This one, past one right here. And I think that checks some of the boxes right there. They really wanted to get someone who wanted to be in Baton Rouge, and by that I mean, not someone that was just enticed by the money, someone that was enticed by the passion, by the tradition, that they could take all of the resources that are available, and that they could get LSU back to Omaha, a place that they hadn't been since Paul Maneri finished runner-up to Kevin O'Sullivan. There on the grandest stage. So I know LSU, the administration is excited about it. They're going to introduce Johnson today at 4:30. He's already spent time with Paul Maneri, with Skip Bertman in Baton Rouge. And, the administration, everyone that we talk to is just sky high on him. They love what he did in the interview process. They love the passion. They love the energy that he showed. And it wasn't just about getting a nice pay raise or anything from Arizona, that it was truly, the surroundings of the job itself that really, I guess you could say, sparked his interest to make a move like that. And so, I think at the end of the day, I think LSU fans are happy with the end result. And, I'm excited can do in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, obviously they got a guy that wants to be there. They got a guy that is excited, really eager to put on that LSU uniform, manage the team, and get it back to Omaha. But obviously this wasn't their first choice or second choice. At least we don't think it was. You mentioned a guy that wants to be there. There were other guys, bigger name, that I think LSU fans wanted from the beginning, but maybe now feel like this is the guy that actually wants to be there, and if he wants to be there, then we want him.
Yeah, and look, I think it's, I think that some LSU fans, they look at, they look at LSU baseball and everything that LSU baseball accomplished, maybe kind of like the Miami, Florida football fans. Like some Miami, Florida football fans may look at Miami, Florida football, But when you really break it down, it's not quite, they're not back in the heyday. Miami football is not back in the heyday that it was. And I think when you look at LSU baseball, that the consistency that LSU fans had grown accustomed to had not been there of late. But I think you can also chalk that up to the parenting college baseball. There's so many things that you can look at, but also, you have to kind of take Paul Maneri's personal situation that we touched on with some of the pain that he was going through, with some of the, I guess the life losses that he's dealt with and stuff too.
Right.
So, it's not just because LSU didn't have talent or LSU had lost its luster. I don't think that's the case at all. And I think that's why when you bring in a guy like Johnson, I think that I think that you can see a quick, like a sharp ascension from LSU in the standpoint of getting back to Omaha. It hasn't been that long of a layoff. LSU still has a lot of talent. They've got a lot of guys coming back. We'll see what the pitching staff looks like. After the MLB draft, what happens with Marceau, Labus, and Jaden Hill. But I think in the grand scheme of things, if LSU doesn't get hit by the transfer portal, very hard, there's a lot of guys coming back next year. You've got the Dylan Cruz, you've got the Trey Morgans, you've got a really strong nucleus for Johnson to build around.
Yeah, and the thing is, the thing that stunned me about it, though, Greg Byrne, who was the AD then at Arizona, hired him to replace Andy Lopez. He's been to Omaha a couple times, had been the head coach at Nevada before coming to Arizona. But he was only making $350,000 a year, which is kind of, for now, with the way college baseball has grown, that is far from elite pay. And you talked about turning down a pay raise. Arizona was aggressive in trying to keep him, so he obviously really had a high interest in coming to LSU and the SEC.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pose a question to you guys because I go back. I mean, me and the College World Series, man, I go back even before LSU baseball was relevant.
Right.
That's how much I love the College World Series. That was the time of the year to where I grew up a huge Texas Longhorn fan. College baseball. I remember the Texas-Miami battles, way back in the day. Arizona State, you had Barry Bonds. Arizona would make the College World Series. You always had somebody from the left-west. I mean, from the West Coast, considered a small ball team. But for Arizona to beat Omaha as much as it has and everything, to me, $350,000, that just seems like shockingly low.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
Almost like you're begging somebody to come in and take him away from you, which is crazy in the grand scheme of things. When I think of Arizona baseball, I kind of think of Arizona basketball with the same breath.
Yeah. I agree, Sonny. There's no doubt. I would say it's one of the top 2 or 3 jobs on the West Coast if you have the right guy.
Yeah, and so to me, the $350,000 thing. I mean, man, that is just very, very shocking. But I'm anxious to see what I'm anxious to see the final details and everything when everything comes out and stuff. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, that Johnson's probably going to be looking at. I mean, man, I wouldn't be surprised if his salary ends up getting.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. I wouldn't be surprised if he's making $1 million a year. Now I know it's we'll see. Who he brings in. There's been a lot of rumors. I'm assuming longtime pitching coach Alan Dunn may be retiring. Are we going to see basically a new staff with Jay Johnson?
I think you're going to see a new staff. Excuse me, Nolan Kane, the recruiting coordinator. there was early talk of him, moving on, of him possibly going to Texas A&M. I think I think when you've had a staff kind of entrenched in Baton Rouge as long as LSU has, minus the hitting coach Eddie Smith, who's already accepted the job out west. But when you have a guy on his way out after Paul Maneri, as long as he's been there, and then you have Nolan Kane and Alan Dunn, who have been there for so long.
Yeah.
It almost makes you think that a guy coming in, bringing in all of his new guys, is really what the program needs. Because when you're bringing a guy in to replace someone who, minus the smoke ball, the few years, who's replacing one of the biggest legends in college baseball, I think that he has to make it his program. That it's not about him meshing in with the program itself. It's him saying, okay, you know what? You brought me from Arizona. I'm here to win national championships. I'm here to get you to Omaha, but this has to be my program. I can't build someone else's program. And so I think for Johnson to do that, to truly put his stamp on it, I think he needs to do that. I think bring in his support staff guys. Now, if he's comfortable with some of the guys who deal with the high school coaches in Louisiana, who help out recruiting and stuff like that, that's fine. But when it comes to a pitching coach, hitting coach, his ace recruiting coordinator and things like that, I think it needs to be a guy that he puts his stamp on. And at the end of the day, there's never going to be any talk or any scuttlebutt or any rumors of, well, he didn't really have everyone and everything in place when he when he came in. He kind of had to marry into the LSU thing. No, look, LSU is great and everything, but hey, this is Johnson's program now. This ain't Skip's. This ain't Paul Maneri's program. This is Johnson's program now, and it's time for him to you put your pieces in place, and let's go out there and let's see what you can do.
No doubt. And we're talking to Sonny Ship, Go 24/7. And, of course, we know recruiting is rolling on as well, Sonny. As you told us, Jay Johnson will be introduced at 4:30 today. We'll continue to monitor that and the staff he puts together in Baton Rouge in the new era of LSU baseball after 15 seasons with Paul Maneri. But LSU recruiting, football-wise, they continue to bring kids in this entire month. We know this is winding down. We're about to hit a dead period. Just give us an overview kind of in your mind. Where is LSU football recruiting right now?
Yeah, we hit the dead period last night at midnight.
That's right.
So, so now we've got another month, and I don't know if this should be called a dead period or if this should be called college coaches vacation month.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they've been working overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is truly why the this is. I think at the end of the day, this is truly why the NCAA makes this a dead period, is they know that the divorce rate is about to go up in the college football industry if they don't give college coaches the month of July off. And so this really gives them a chance to recharge and get ready for the get ready for fall camp, get ready for the season that's about to be on us. But yeah, LSU had a good weekend. They were able to get one of their top running back targets on campus, Trevante Citizen, out of Lake Charles. They had 5-star wide receiver Evan Stewart on campus yesterday for an unofficial visit with his parents. And so it was a big month. When we go back and we look at the official visits and the unofficial visits, some of the private workouts that LSU was able to hold, that we'll look back over this stretch right here, and it will, and it definitely, I think it certainly lived up to its hype of coming out of such an extended dead period and really giving fans, some excitement to get ready for the college football season, but also giving college football coaches a great chance to kind of cement the foundation that they were able to lay with a lot of these kids on Zoom calls, through correspondence, through messaging, what have you, and really able to kind of some of that personal touch on the recruiting side of things.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I think all coaches took advantage. I think the kids were thankful to finally get back out on the road and get some face time with schools that they're really interested in. Now we had a lot of official visits in June, but there are a lot of kids that are continuing to have official visits on into the fall and still to make an early decision. But I think it really helped to return things to somewhat normalcy in the month of June. Now July, as you said, Sonny, guys are going to recharge a little bit and get ready for fall camp and hopefully a normal season coming up this fall, no doubt about that. But we appreciate the time, brother. You guys do a great job, you, Shay, and Billy. Let everybody know how to connect with Go 24/7 and what you guys have going on.
Yeah, come check us out, Go 24/7, GEAUX247.com. We've got a lot of recruiting info, excuse me, a lot of looking ahead to the season and stuff. And, man, those dog days of summer, it's hard to believe the month of June is already almost gone. Before you know it, SEC Media Day is going to be on us.
Yeah, they will be, and hope to see you down there. And, of course, I know you guys will have full coverage of that press conference later this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, we'll have it all, tons of photos, tons of video. We'll have everything. So there'll be a lot of stuff on the site this afternoon, so come by and check us out.
Thank you, Sonny.
Thanks, Sonny.
Y'all be good, fellas.
All right, Sonny Ship with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. We need to get to a break. Sonny Ship talking about just how many guys LSU had, how big it was a weekend for LSU. But there's one school in the country that did not welcome one official visit during the live period. Who was it? We'll let you know when we return.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
They've cleared the wreck on 565 eastbound near Mooresville Road. Now we're getting a report of a stalled vehicle or abandoned vehicle eastbound near exit 3. That'd be right about Greenbrier, so watch out as you're coming through that area. Possible slowdown there. Everything else looking pretty good this morning. I don't see any other major snags. Probably our biggest wreck was 72 east of Roy Owens. That's in Scottsboro, and that one should be about ready to move. Popeye's 3-piece snack is only $4.99. You get 3 pieces of that crispy tender chicken and a buttermilk biscuit. Popeyes, University and Jordan, 72 and Jeff and North Parkway. Captain Nick in the Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
Nothing beats a great burger to help celebrate the 4th of July, and at Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, we couldn't agree more. And if you haven't tried our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness, then now is your chance to sink your teeth into one of Bad Daddy's award-winning burgers for half price. Our Zone deal this week gets you $50 worth of delicious burgers made with premium Angus beef for just $25. Log on 977ESPN.com now and get your Bad Daddy's Zone deal before they're gone.
You know it and I know it. Sometimes a brand new car or truck just isn't in the budget. That's where we come in. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and I want to talk to you about the advantages of buying a Ford Gold certified used car or truck. These are low mileage, gently used vehicles with great warranties. A 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive limited warranty and a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles have passed a 172-point inspection by certified technicians and come with a 24-hour roadside assistance too. You'll also get a Carfax vehicle history report and 22,000 Ford Pass reward points to use for future scheduled maintenance or other accessories. Plus, before you leave in your Gold certified used car, we'll be sure to give you a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change, even new wiper blades. Gold certified vehicles at Woody Anderson Ford. Hope to see you soon.
Everyone knows the smart time to buy appliances is before or after any holiday. The savings are better. And here at Bob Wallace Appliance, we offer smart, amazing appliances by Maytag, Whirlpool, and KitchenAid, all designed to help you spend less time working in the kitchen and more time with family. I'm Chris Haygood. We're closed July 3rd through the 5th, so our employees can spend the holiday with their families. Huntsville, Florence, Coleman, and at BobWallaceAppliance.com.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Hi, 7:48 on a Monday morning. Welcome back to Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Couple of our local headlines this morning. Javon Harrison qualifies for the Olympics in the high jump and long jump, becoming the first person since Jim Thorpe in 1912 to qualify for both. 1912.
Man, make that 90-plus years.
Think about that, because, I mean, Carl Lewis dominated the long jump for years in the 80s, but never high jumped. I mean, it's rare, I guess, that we get a high jumper and a long jumper in the same.
100. What am I saying? I suck at math. It's been over 100 years.
1912 to 2021.
I didn't know 12 was exactly the year.
Yeah, 1912.
Yeah, it's over 100 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
All right, those are a couple of it. And former Huntsville High golfer Janie Jackson earned a $13,066 paycheck for finishing tied for 56th in the LPGA's PGA Championship, a golf major on the LPGA side. So she made the cut. Limited PGA Tour appearances for Janie. She can only play on limited events, but she gets a 56.
She's on the road to it.
Yep.
To trying to be a full-time.
She's going to end up there. Nonetheless. All right, but anyway, I mentioned before the break, Drew, that everybody, Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, football camps galore. I mean, this past month. I mean, every weekend, every day there's a camp.
Everybody had to do a one-day camp because of Joe. But anyway.
And then everybody welcoming official visits all month long. We see it on social media, everybody welcoming in. There's one school, one prominent school that factors in the national championship equation each year that held true to their recruiting format, did not welcome one official visit. Now, probably unofficial visits, but not one official visit in the month of June, and that was Dabo Swinney and Clemson. They did not welcome. That's their normal plan. They normally do that, and they held true to the month of June. Not one official recruiting visit.
Visits because Arch was there.
He was at a camp.
It was a circus.
And they had camps. They still did their prospect camps, but they did not welcome one official visit to campus in the month of June.
Yeah, because Arch was there. Arch was, in Tuscaloosa. He was in Texas. He was in Georgia. So he made the rounds in June before the dead period, and so. But
do you like that from Dabo? I mean, he's been doing things his own way.
Hey, I'm not arguing with any of it. He's
coming out of a pandemic like that, still not bringing in an official visit in the month of June.
Well, I mean, he'd just rather kids take in the campus environment during the fall when they have a game to see. I mean, that's up to the coaching staff. And as you said, they certainly welcomed unofficial visitors. They're just not allowing official visits. And
right.
So, and he does things differently as well. When you commit to Clemson publicly, he doesn't like you to visit other schools, and if you do, you're not considered committed. I mean, we've seen that happen with high-profile players. Robert Kimdichie did that before he flipped to Ole Miss and ruined his life. And ended up being a flop.
But he got money, probably.
Oh,
right?
He got money.
He got paid.
He grew up wanting to be a rebel. We know that. Now, he could have made millions more if he had gone to Alabama and been developed and turned into a dominant first overall pick instead of going near the end of the first round. But that's another story for another day.
Doesn't everybody grow up wanting
or gone to Clemson? If he had stick with his verbal commitment to Clemson or gone to Alabama, the young man probably would have been the first pick because he had the best junior film of any freak I've ever seen in my life for the size and the speed that he had. But again, he followed his brother to Ole Miss. Neither one of them made the NFL. Well, Robert got a cup of coffee. Now he's hanging on for dear life. But I mean,
But doesn't everybody grow up wanting to be a rebel?
I mean, some did. That's for sure, from all over the United States, and they're still recovering from that. But again, I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it before. Corey Foreman, he was committed to Clemson before ultimately signing with Southern California because he wanted to continue to take visits. But you got to respect Dabo for sticking to his guns, and that's just the way he wants things done. So if you commit to Clemson, you know that from the word go. Brian Brzee stayed committed to Clemson, didn't visit other schools, and his career looks to be on the up and up as he'll probably be developed into a top 5 overall draft pick and not end up out of the league because you make the wrong choice and go to the wrong school for the wrong reasons.
I just found that interesting. I just saw that over the weekend, that Dabo Swinney didn't welcome an official visit in the month of June. We talked a lot about how these coaches have just been nonstop, bringing kids in, and here's a school that didn't do any of that in the month of June. Some news, some information coming out about Arch Manning's visit to Alabama over Father's Day weekend. Enjoyed some dinners with Doug Marrone, Pete Golding, Bill O'Brien.
Hung out with Bryce Young.
And James Brockermeyer.
Yep.
And I did not realize that Doug Marrone was there with the Saints, and that's a big factor as to why Doug Marrone was involved in all of this, because of the Saints and Manning, and everybody knows the connection there.
Archie was there a long time, and they still live in New Orleans. They have a good relationship with the New Orleans Saints, so certainly Doug Marrone knows the family, and Arch is taking a strategic approach to this. He's looking at several different schools. He certainly likes Texas due to Steve Sarkisian and the offenses he's put together. He certainly likes Georgia due to the fact they have some connections there. They know Matt Luke. Remember, he's a long-time Ole Miss Rebel, and certainly Georgia's had success. They've won a lot of games. Now, the quarterbacks haven't exactly gone high in the draft, but they've been very productive, and JT Daniels looks to be the next one. So certainly they have connections there. So Arch went to Georgia, and then you talked about Alabama. So sounds like he had a good time at both places. Certainly we're hearing a lot of buzz about Clemson as well. We had John Garcia, as you know, on the show Saturday, Scott, and he told us that, of course, he's hearing some buzz about Clemson, but he thinks the top 3 are Clemson, Alabama, and Texas. I would agree with that. With most of what you hear, but you never know how it's going to pivot or turn. I mean, certainly he could make an early commitment. I would still be somewhat surprised by it if he did it, before his junior year of high school. But we'll see if Arch decides that that's what he wants to do, and to get and start recruiting for said school that he chooses. So you would think he would also maybe visit these schools again during the fall. To take in the game day environment, because of course we certainly know he's already visited LSU. He's certainly been to Ole Miss throughout his life, with the close ties to that program with his uncle Eli and his grandfather, and then of course even Peyton. Even though Peyton we know is a Tennessee Vol, but we'll see. I mean, it's going to be a fascinating recruitment to follow, and as John said on the show Saturday, many of these top quarterbacks, we've already seen Eli Holstein commit to Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher. Some of these in 2023 are going to try to make early decisions.
All right, 256-576-4977. That is the number 2, the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. You can get in on the show this morning. We're about ready to wrap up hour number 1, but when we do kick off hour number 2, the phone lines will still be open to you. 256-576-4977. And we are counting down because coming up on Thursday, that is when the name, image, and likeness stuff will kick in for the NCAA. And who do you think would be the first individual to get a name, image, and likeness deal here in the state?
I have no clue.
I know. It's a needle in the haystack thing.
I would say Montana Fouts.
Yeah.
Would be on the short list, but I know softball is not as popular as college football, and of course Bryce Young. I mean, we strongly believe he's going to be the quarterback of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Bo Nix, I mean, he has a lot of state ties around with his father being a quarterback of the Auburn Tigers. He's going into his 3rd year starting, so he would be another prominent figure you would think. where that could maybe be a factor.
All right, we're just about ready for hour number 1 to be done in the books. And when we come back in hour 2, we got to talk about the Atlanta Braves. Got to talk Major League Baseball. We'll set the stage and let you know how the standings look in Major League Baseball going into it. Braves got another big series with the Mets coming up. We'll talk about that. And we got to talk about the SEC baseball. We talked about NC State and everything in the College World Series, but we got to break down the SEC Championship Series. Mississippi State and Vanderbilt. Got a lot of stuff to get to coming up in hour number 2 of our Monday edition of Talking Ball. Plus, the phone lines are open to you. Your good, the bad, the ugly from the weekend.
Everyone knows the smart time to buy appliances is before or after any holiday. The savings are better. And here at Bob Wallace Appliance, we offer smart, amazing appliances by Maytag, Whirlpool, and KitchenAid, all designed to help you spend less time working in the kitchen and more time with family. I'm Chris Haygood. We're closed July 3rd through the 5th, so our employees can spend the holiday with their families. Huntsville, Florence, Coleman, and at BobWallaceAppliance.com.
This is Steve Moulton for Lee's Magic Tunnel. Do you live out of your car? Does your car look like you've been well lived in? Then take your vehicle to Lee's Magic Tunnel, located on the Parkway. Any size of the vehicle, it doesn't matter, Lee's will get it clean. Offering many types of washes, but getting it clean inside and out. Ask for the manager's special. That's at Lee's Magic Tunnel, located on the Parkway, and located online at leesmagictunnel.com for more information.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We've got several units headed to a fire alarm on John Thomas Drive. That's across 72 from Madison Hospital. Got 72 East near Roy Owens Boulevard. That one's in Scottsboro. That one had some injury involved. Had I-65 about 157 on the southbound side in Coleman County. That one should be about ready to clear. Expert Heart Care backed by advanced technology. When you need cardiac care, you need the Heart Doctor. Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialist. Captain Nick in the 72 and Jeff Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect a few isolated showers in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly sunny sky. High temperatures will be topping out in the lower 90s for the afternoon, but heat index values will be as high as 97. For your Monday night, expect a mostly clear sky. Low temperatures will fall into the lower 70s. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This action update is brought to you by Keeps. Tired of losing your hair? Get 50% off for your first order at Keeps.com/VSiN. Keeps.com/VSiN.
Another Braves-Mets series starting in Atlanta tomorrow night. The Braves coming off a 2-2 split with the Reds. Opening lines for Game 1 will be out today. The Suns a chance to go to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1993. They're at home and favored by 5.5 points over the Clippers in Game 5, leading the series 3-1. The over-under 214.5. Game 4 in the East tomorrow night. The Bucks a 6.5-point road favorite at the Hawks, 221.5 total. Milwaukee up 2-1 in that series. The Stanley Cup Finals Game 1 tonight in Tampa. The Lightning at -200 on the money line. The Canadiens at +170, over under 5. The Lightning going for back-to-back titles. Montreal seeking their first since 93 and 25th overall.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
It is hour number 2 of Talking Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Now is a great time to head to 977ESPN.com or WZZN.halfoffdeal.com. Take advantage of the best half-off deals throughout the Tennessee Valley. That is with our zone deals. Right now you can still get $50 worth of food for $25 to Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, as well as $50 worth of food for $25 to the Hummus and Pita Company. Again, 977ESPN.com or WZZN.halfoffdeal.com, the place to be. And we mentioned how cool it was that the Madison County area was going to have not one but 2 Olympians competing in Javon Hermerson in the track and field for long jump and high jump. And then you had Zach Harding competing in the 200-meter butterfly on the swimming side. And thanks to our good listener, Jeff Robertson, letting us know
we appreciate
that North Alabama will have not 1 but 2 but 3 competitors in the Olympics, as former Hartselle High standout Quenisha Burks, who went on to a stellar career at Alabama on the track and field side, qualified in the long jump as well. So North Alabama has 3 competitors going to the Olympics in our listening area.
Yeah, 2 in Madison County, and then we have Hartselle now represented with Quenisha Burks, out there in Morgan County. So what a great summer this is going to be for North Alabama. She's a former NCAA champion, Scott, at the University of Alabama in track. She finished in 2017, I believe, but she's continued to compete professionally in track, and now she makes the Olympic team in the long jump. So this has just been a tremendous, last few weeks for North Alabama and the athletes that continue to come out of our community.
All right, and so North Alabama will be well represented.
Oh, no question. There'll be some people just kind of glued to the TV.
It's amazing. I mean, if you needed a reason to watch the Olympics this year, we're giving you one.
And then remember, this is a year late because of the pandemic. All this was put off from last year, and so all these young people finally getting a chance to compete in Tokyo a year later.
All right, so that is really our headlines for coming into hour number 2. Mm-hmm. Tonight, College World Series, Omaha
begins.
Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. Now, these 2 teams did meet during the regular season.
Yeah.
And it's going to look a lot different than it did in that matchup, because going into that matchup in Nashville, which Vanderbilt got the best of Mississippi State, Kumar Rocker, Jack Leiter, Mississippi State's 1 and 2s.
Vanderbilt.
No, Vanderbilt's 1 and 2s, yes, Jack Leiter, but Mississippi State's 1 and 2 guys as well. They were all rested.
Right.
This is not the case this time going into this series. Kumar Rocker probably, if it goes to a Game 3, would be on short rest if they needed him, but he won't pitch in Games 1 or Game 2. Jack Leiter will start tonight for Vanderbilt. But this series is a whole lot different than it was in that first meeting back in Nashville.
It is, and then we've also seen Mississippi State, in order to subdue Texas, which they did. They've also they also had to burn some pitching as well. They've had to go through a lot of pitching, but see the strength of their staff. If you remember Steve Robertson, when he joined us, he told us, he said, "Look, the strength of this team is their pitching staff and their pitching depth. That's why they need to get it done this year." They've done a tremendous job, too, because, you look at Mississippi State and what they've been able to do. They did not play well at the start of the postseason in Hoover, but they certainly used that short stay there to recharge and then get going and then to play well in their regional and super regionals that were both in Starkville. We talked about what a great super regional they had with Notre Dame, but they were able to outlast Texas, and I think that was huge because They had two really good games, with the Longhorns.
Right.
Where the Longhorns shown a lot of toughness and grit to come back and force an if game, so to speak. But Mississippi State, when you win a national title, you have to have unknown guys kind of step up. Certainly, Leggett got the game-winning hit, the single in the bottom of the ninth, so they didn't have to burn any more pitching. I thought that was huge for Mississippi State. But as we know, one of their top two, Bednar pitches really well for the second straight time. He likely won't be available for this series, but it gives a shot at redemption. And what have we talked about on the show all day today is we've been lauding Olympians from North Alabama and Madison County. Well, a Huntsville High grad will get another shot in Omaha tonight in Game 1 as left-hander Christian McLeod, who's been the Friday night guy for really 3 years for Mississippi State.
Yeah.
He struggled in his first start in Omaha, but certainly getting a chance for redemption in the biggest series, maybe in Mississippi State history, as they're in the finals once again against Vanderbilt.
His last 3 starts have been kind of tough.
Yeah.
He had a tough one in the regional. Mm-hmm. He had a really tough one against Notre Dame in the Super Regional. Didn't last long, and in his first Omaha one was a little shaky as well. But you'd have to imagine tonight the juices will be flowing, the emotions will be flowing. So you hope, and if you're Mississippi State, you would hope that he could go, maybe 5 innings?
I mean, you'd hope.
You'd want him to go 5 or 6 innings tonight?
You just hope he can get you deep in the ball game. That's going to be the key.
We're going to talk more about this coming up here a little bit later because Robbie Faulk, who has been in Omaha this whole time with Mississippi State, will wake up with us again from Omaha. His stay continued, and it's going to continue at least for 2 more days there in Omaha as Mississippi State and Vanderbilt will take on each other tonight at the College World Series. The SEC back in the College World Series is an all-SEC matchup, and we'll break that down a little bit later coming up this morning with Robbie Faulk. It's the 4th, in case you're counting, it's the 4th all-SEC final at the College World Series. 1997 was the first time it happened, Alabama, LSU. 2011, you had Florida, South Carolina. 2017, Florida, LSU. And in 2021, you get Mississippi State and Vanderbilt. All right, so the Power Fives, college football schedules, we all know what they are. We've all seen them. But who has the toughest college football schedule, not just in the SEC, but in the country? Here is how it all ranks out. According to USA Today. They say these are the toughest college football schedules in America this year. Stanford, they say, has the toughest college football schedule in college football. Kansas State, at Vanderbilt, Notre Dame, and no mid-majors for Stanford. That is why they are saying Stanford has the toughest schedule, followed by Georgia Tech and Jeff Collins at number 2. The best the SEC is Georgia, they say, at number 3 because they have Clemson in Charlotte, UAB, Charleston Southern at Georgia Tech, outstanding schedule, a national power, and an in-state arch rival. Even the mid-major UAB is decent. So they say Georgia is the 3rd toughest schedule in America this fall.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a tough schedule. Bill Clark done a great job resuscitating the UAB program. They'll be opening their new stadium this year, so looking forward to that for UAB and where that can take that program. And certainly, Stanford, they've been known for playing a tough schedule. They play a physical brand of football. They're a little bit different in the Pac-12, but certainly they've taken a couple steps back the last 2 years. It's going to be interesting to see if they can get it rolling again in the Pac-12. And the Pac-12 needs them to because that league has been down. It would not have been in a 12-team college football playoff this past year. But, of course, we know how brilliantly their administrations handled the COVID.
Miami, Alabama's opening game opponent, they say, has the 6th toughest schedule in America because, one, they open with Alabama in Atlanta, and then you have Appalachian State, Michigan State, Central Connecticut. Rough is the road for the Hurricanes, they say. Michigan State is down, but App State is a rugged mid-major. That's one of those teams you don't want to see on your schedule. You go on down the list, and they say Clemson has the 11th toughest schedule in the country, followed by Ohio State at number 13. If you keep on moving down the list, Mississippi State checks in at 19 on the road of the Power Fives as far as the toughest schedules go. Texas comes in at number 26. Auburn and Brian Harsin check in at number 27 as the toughest schedule in America as far as the entire landscape of Power Fives and college football, simply because they say Akron, Alabama State, at Penn State, Georgia State. The Tigers in Happy Valley doesn't happen often. Enjoy it, but not much else on this bone. That's why they put them down there at number 27. Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin check in at number 30. And I'm going down to try to find Alabama on the list, and they have them at number 44. And they ranked the top 64. They put 64 teams in the Power 5 because that's what they are, and they put Alabama in there at number 44 as the toughest schedule in America. Miami and Atlanta, you have Mercer, Southern Miss, New Mexico State. They say Miami at Alabama is not a bad game, but the rest of the schedule is dreadful.
I mean, I'm not worried about schedules. Alabama, they've never dodged anyone. The way the schedule fell this year is probably it's probably not as strong as some of the others that they've played. But again, you go out there and you win. You don't have to answer to anyone. You're still playing in the SEC West, which is the toughest division in all of college football. There's nothing to have to apologize for. And Alabama is playing a relatively tough first game opponent in Miami, who's much more talented than they have been. I think Manny Diaz, under the radar, has done a really good job. We heard from Andrew Ivins on Saturday as well, and he filled us in on some of that. They got a lot of experience back on offense. If they get De'Aaron King back for that first game, it would be huge for them. Rhett Lashley, their OC's done a nice job. They run the football really well. They got a deep running back room. They've got Rambo, the graduate transfer from Oklahoma at wide receiver, that you have to see. It's just basically going to come down to defensively, can you replace the pass rush somewhat when you lose Jalen Phillips and Greg Rousseau. So they've lost some talent, but Manny Diaz doing a nice job recruiting at Miami.
And we talked to Andrew Ivins. If you missed our Saturday show from University Kia, we talked to Andrew Ivins on Saturday, and he seemed, and the word from Miami, he seemed optimistic that De'Aaron King will play in that opener against Alabama.
Yeah, there's been some video out there of him running around throwing, so we'll see. I hope he does. I mean, it would be good for college football if De'Aaron King is okay and can play in that game.
So who has the easiest schedule in college football according to USA Today?
Probably Alabama, considering Woken how much he loves them.
No. Kentucky.
Uh-oh.
They say Kentucky has the easiest college football schedule in all of the Power Fives. Louisiana Monroe, Tennessee Chattanooga, New Mexico State, at Louisville. ULM and New Mexico State are two of the sport's least successful mid-majors. Louisiana Monroe, New Mexico State.
Rich Rod and Terry.
Yep. So they are saying Kentucky has the easiest schedule in all of college football this year. Who has the next to easiest schedule? Tennessee and Josh Heupel in his first year. That is who USA Today says has the two easiest schedules in all of college football.
I haven't checked the portal this morning, so I don't know if anybody else from Tennessee's gone in it. But certainly, we know it's not going to be easy for Josh Heupel and the Vols this year with all the talent that they've lost.
Bowling Green, Pittsburgh, Tennessee Tech, South Alabama, 4 home games. Pitt the best in a Johnny Majors Bowl, they say. South Alabama next best. Not much of a schedule for Tennessee and Josh Heupel in their first year. That is according to USA Today. And your buddy
Dan Woken did not do this one, so he did not do this article. So, but anyway, those are the two easiest schedules in all of college football. Who has this down the list though? They put Texas A&M at number 60 of the 64 teams as far as the easiest schedule in college football goes, simply because they only play Kent State, Colorado in Denver, New Mexico, and Prairie View A&M.
Okay.
So, yeah. Colorado did move their home game from Boulder to Mile High Stadium. That was originally supposed to be played in Boulder, but Colorado moved it to Mile High Stadium, so Texas A&M will travel to Denver for that one instead of Boulder.
Interesting. It should be an interesting matchup. We'll see. Colorado is kind of a flying under the radar program. They've gone through some coaching transition. There's no doubt about it. And Texas A&M is going to have a lot of hype and a lot of expectations coming off of the second year under Jimbo. So we'll see. What happens with their, and I should say third year under Jimbo Fisher.
This is year 4, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say because that's what I meant. I said they're coming off of off of the third year.
Yeah.
I said second at first. I was like actually coming off the third. This will be going into year 4 because the third year under Jimbo was outstanding, and now they'll be going into year 4 under Jimbo. And so there are going to be a lot of expectations because he had Kellen Mond for his first 3 seasons. He inherited him as a sophomore, so he's moved on to the NFL, 4th-round draft choice. So could it be Haynes King? Who's going to be under center? We talked a little bit to Owen Buchanan in the last several days about them, but Texas A&M is going to have a lot of expectations coming off of a strong third year under Jimbo. This is year 4 in College Station.
26-10. Is Jimbo Fisher since arriving at Texas A&M, 26-10.
And I want to give a shout out. Now he might as well, just like Keith Niebuhr is almost a de facto golf historian for us. We almost have another golf correspondent to go along with our good friend Charlie Plott and Matthew Schmitz. He just tweeted this and about a guest on our show we recently talked with that he played in the Huntsville Championship over at the Ledges. But this morning, 5 schools can proudly boast about having an alum with a PGA Tour sanctioned tournament this weekend, and that is Georgia, Illinois, Mississippi State, New Mexico, and North Alabama. Connor Godsey, champion of the Banco del Pacifico Open, Connor Godsey. So congratulations to him. We had him on the show.
Yeah, I was following. I was listening and reading. Oh my goodness! He used to be Greg DeWalt.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, and Greg has since retired from writing over at the Times Daily.
Great guy,
but does a lot of great articles, a lot of great golfing articles, and Greg was following Connor's rounds hole by hole all weekend, and I saw that he had won that. He's trying to work his way back up into the Korn Ferry Tour, so to speak. But playing on the professional side down there in Mexico, and you watch a lot of these Korn Ferry guys and their stops. The Mexican stop is a stop really before they get up into that Korn Ferry Tour. There's a lot of guys that came up there from that Mexican tour. It's some good golf.
Yeah.
And congratulations to Connor Godsey. Let's get our next break in, because when we come back, we do need to talk Omaha. We need to preview this Mississippi State Vanderbilt series, getting ready to start tonight in Omaha for a national championship game 1.
Yeah, Omaha Dogs as Mississippi State, their 3rd straight trip. Now another trip to the finals. Last time they were subdued by Florida in one of those all-SEC finals. But can Mississippi State win the first ever championship in school history? And they'll be taking on Vanderbilt starting tonight in Omaha.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's got a wreck on Greenbrier Parkway. This is almost to the Polaris plant. It's going to be a no injury, but may be a problem for traffic. Everything else accident-wise appears to have been cleared out of the way. That fire alarm on John Thomas off 72 near Madison Hospital was construction-related, so no fire there. Do your methods to lose weight no longer work for you? Odds are your hormones are the problem. Find out with a free quiz at 2030huntsville.com. Captain Nick in the North Parkway Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
Everyone knows the smart time to buy appliances is before or after any holiday. The savings are better. And here at Bob Wallace Appliance, we offer smart, amazing appliances by Maytag, Whirlpool, and KitchenAid, all designed to help you spend less time working in the kitchen and more time with family. I'm Chris Haygood. We're closed July 3rd through the 5th, so our employees can spend the holiday with their families. Huntsville, Florence, Coleman, and at BobWallaceAppliance.com.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
You know it and I know it. Sometimes a brand new car or truck just isn't in the budget. That's where we come in. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and I want to talk to you about the advantages of buying a Ford Gold certified used car or truck. These are low-mileage, gently used vehicles with great warranties, a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive limited warranty, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles have passed a 172-point inspection by certified technicians and come with a 24-hour roadside assistance too. You'll also get a Carfax vehicle history report and 22,000 Ford Pass reward points to use for future scheduled maintenance or other accessories. Plus, before you leave in your Gold certified used car, we'll be sure to give you a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change, even new wiper blades. Gold certified vehicles at Woody Anderson Ford. Hope to see you soon.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
Hey, this is Justin with the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. We'd like to invite you to North Alabama's premier patio bar and grill, where at the factory, we have something going on each and every night. Monday night, steak night. Tuesday night, karaoke. Wednesday night, the Jeep community comes out for Jeep Jam. Thursday, it's bike night, the biggest in the valley. Friday and Saturday, live concerts on our 4,000-square-foot patio, along with drink specials and a beautiful staff. What are you waiting on? We will see you at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Join us this afternoon from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to Talkin' Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
As we mentioned just a little bit ago, for the fourth time in SEC history, it'll be an all-SEC championship series on the diamond. Of course, Alabama, we talked about it earlier. Alabama was the first one to lead the all-SEC championship series, and you got to go all the way back to 1997 for that one, when Alabama took on LSU. That was at Rosenblatt Stadium. And then in 2011, Florida, South Carolina. I believe that one now is at TD Ameritrade. I believe that was the new ballpark. 2017, Florida, LSU. And in 2021, we get Mississippi State and Vanderbilt. So the fourth time in the history of the College World Series, we get the All-SEC Championship Series, and there'll be over 23,000, I can imagine. I have talked to a lot of Bulldog faithful in here around the Tennessee Valley because there are several alumni, and a lot of them were just waiting to see if they could get by Texas, and that if they could get by Texas, they were going to hop on that flight and try to get out to Omaha to watch this championship series. I had to talk to a couple people over the weekend that were eager to get out there.
The good part is, you start off 0-0. It's best 2 out of 3. It's just like a regular SEC weekend series.
Yeah.
That's the great part, except there's no guarantee of a Game 3.
Are you glad they changed that from back in the day? Because it
yeah.
used to be just a one-game
because
series.
It allows you to at least have a puncher's chance and get some more pitching maybe ready.
Yeah.
To circle back around and have enough rest to pitch in Omaha. So, yeah, I like the way they're doing it. I certainly think it's better than the one-shot deal. It gives you a chance to come back and bounce back if you do perform poorly in the first game. Everything is not over. So I do think the best 2 out of 3 format is good. There's no doubt about it.
All right, coming up here in just a little bit, Robbie Faulk will set to join the show as he is live from Omaha ahead of tonight's championship series between Vanderbilt and
further
Mississippi
clarification
State.
From our good friend Matthew Smith, that win in Mexico we were talking about with Connor Godsey, that locks up the Korn Ferry Tour. So he will have a full-time gig now on there.
Well, as we mentioned, that was you look at the bios of a lot of these Korn Ferry guys and you look at their stops and leading into it, a lot of them tried to get that ticket by golfing there on the Mexican tour down just a little bit south. It's good golf. It's a paycheck. Anyway, we continue, and Robbie Faulk set to join us here in just a little bit. But until we get him, we kind of bounce around, and it was fun. I've been watching. I don't know. I guess I'm excited for the Olympics, but Auburn has an enrollee for gymnastics, Sunija Lee. And we all know that in gymnastics, we've all seen it. And there really is no other gymnast in the world that's even coming close to Simone Biles right now. But Sunija Lee she will be attending Auburn in the fall as a freshman. She qualified for the Olympics as well in the gymnastics world. So she still says over the weekend that despite qualifying for the Olympics, she still will attend Auburn and she still will do college gymnastics, that it has been a dream of hers to be a part of a college team. So she is by far the most decorated gymnast to ever come to Auburn, and she will be on the world's biggest stage coming up here in about a month or so. So that is some more Olympic news to pass along. But obviously, we still keep counting down. Everybody is counting down. Sports Illustrated, Ross Dellinger continues to lead the way, just pouring out article after article as far as name, image, and likeness goes. And it is amazing, Drew, that Ross Dellinger has joined this show many times, has a new article out. And this is how it entitles. NCAA leaders still divided on name, image, and likeness legislation as solution set to pass on Wednesday. Continuing, basically, to update everybody that the NCAA in their own offices are split on how they want to handle name, image, and likeness, and we are 2 days away from this going into effect.
Well, they just want to pass the buck, I think. I think they're going to end up leaving it up to each individual state with how they handle it. At least that's the way I bet you it ends up going. Just like with COVID, they basically passed the buck to each individual university, each individual state with the protocols they wanted to use and trying to, have a season. They really didn't comment on it too much. Now, when the postseasons happened, we're talking